Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Rich from WELSHYTECH, and today we have this case here from 1STPlayer. This is the GM7, and this is a £64 case with 4 ARGB fans. Is it worth it? Let's find out. This is the 1STPlayer GM7 mid-tower PC case. It does come with 4 included ARGB fans, and the 3 on the side are reverse ARGB fans. The overall dimensions of the case, well, it is a 446 by 235 by 483 millimeters. A tempered glass side panel, as well as a tempered glass front panel. Motherboards it supports, it is ATX, MATX and ITX. The biggest, the CPU cooler max height is 180 millimeters. The max length of a GPU is 420 millimeters in length. I/O, it does have 2 USB 3.0 ports, as well as a Type-C and a HD audio port, and as well as the power button. So when we get into like fan or radiator support, well, it does support 3 120s at the top or 2 140s. The side of the case does support 3 120s. The rear fan is also supported by a 120, and it does have support for 2 120 millimeter fans at the bottom. Now, as for AIO support, it does support a 360 or a 280 millimeter AIO at the top. The side, I don't know. They don't specifically say on the website whether it supports a 360 on the side, but by the looks of it, it should. But don't quote me on that. The top panel does have a dust filter on it. It's not removable, but it's easy to come off. But there, at the rear, when it comes to dust filtration, does have a dust filter here, which does pop out from the back. Very easy, mesh is very fine, so it shouldn't be an issue for airflow. Included accessories, well, it does come with a little baggie here with some zip ties, as well as grommets for installing case fans, as well as the motherboard screws and so forth. Drive bay support does have a 2.5-inch SSD mount there, and at the bottom you can install a 2.5-inch drive or 3.5-inch drive hard drive. This case does also support back rear connectors, and it does have the cutout points for AMD as well as Gigabyte and MSI motherboards. And also, when it comes to like the overall space at the back, you do have points here for cable management. It does also come pre-wired with all the ARGB fans, and it does have different points here for cable management. When it comes to power supplies, well, it does support 220 millimeter power supplies at the bottom in a standard orientation. Now, that's all the specs done with. Now, let's build a computer or build something in this and test the airflow of the case. So make sure you continue to watch. Okay, so when it comes to the overall actual system specifications, the parts I use, well, it is the Core Ultra 7 265K, 32 gigs of DDR5 from Kingston. It is an ASRock Z890 Riptide motherboard. It has a 2TB Gen 5 NVMe, and also it's got a 1000 watt power supply from BeQuire, and it has a 7800 XT Nitro Plus, and also using a Thermalright CPU cooler. Okay, so when it comes to the overall testing methods, now I've run it 2 different tests, 50 and 100% fan speed, and the GPU and the CPU were run for 20 minutes in Cinebench R23 and Thermalright 2. So, for 50% fan speed, the CPU, when it comes to Cinebench R23, the idles are 28 with a max of 83 Celsius, and the power draw was high at 210 watts. Now, as for Thermalright 2 with a GPU, the idle was 23 Celsius with a GPU temp. The GPU hotspot idle was 29 with the GPU junction idle was at 46. The max on the GPU temp was 64 Celsius with a GPU hotspot max at 92. And the GPU junction temp max was at 76 Celsius with a GPU power draw at max at 273 watts. So when it comes to the 100%, now Cinebench R23, the idles were 31 with a max of 77 Celsius, already come down, but the CPU power draw did go down as well by 5 watts. It went to 205 watts. Now, the GPU temperature, the idles were 35, the GPU hotspot was idle at 41, and the GPU junction temp was idle at 56. But the GPU temp max was 58, the GPU hotspot at 88 Celsius, and the GPU junction at 72 Celsius, with the exact same power draw at 273 watts. Already a significant difference when it comes to thermals when you go from 50 to 100% fan speed. Okay then, so what did you think of that? Now yes, when I said in the beginning this case is actually only £64, it was true. Now I managed to find it on when it comes to euros, it was 71 something euros, so I made that conversion. It's just a little under £64, so that's not bad at all. You get 4 included ARGB fans. Of course, there's standard ARGB as well as standard PWM, which is fantastic. There's no controllers, obviously no hubs, but it's not bad. They're fully controllable. I like the overall design. It does remind me of the Vector 100 from LIAN LI, but this is a lot cheaper. So yeah, now the overall design, it's a very similar design to a lot of different cases, especially out there. Now I have got the Predator 130 on here, so this is I think it's 170 mil, so this is almost at max height, which is obviously the CPU cooler max height in this case is 180 millimeters, so this is almost there. The GPU, that's just sitting there perfectly. I mean, you could literally fit a 4090 or a 5090 in here. There's so much room. Now, these fans, very quiet at 100%, and they push a lot of air as well. The overall build quality, of course, this is a very budget type case. Obviously, it's like stamped steel and stuff. The overall quality on some of the parts of it ain't that good, but considering the price point, I think it's actually okay. Now, let's move on to the back of the case so I can show you the cable management. Okay, you ready? Look at that. I hardly did anything to the back panel. I just used the included cable tie downs and such, and it looks quite nice. The overall cable management and overall space at the back is actually okay, and you do also have ample room at the bottom for a power supply. Now the overall, obviously the overall look of it and stuff is very nice as well. I like the overall look. I wish that they did specify if this does support a 360 on the side. Unfortunately, it doesn't specify on the website, but considering the price point at £63.90 something it is, it's actually not bad. So, should you buy it? Well, all I'm going to say is that for the price point, this is one of the best cases I've seen so far. Obviously, I haven't checked out many cases this year because I don't really do many case reviews, but I am starting to ramp it up. So, yeah, I think for the price point, it's actually quite good, and I do like the overall look as well. So, yeah. If you guys want to buy it, I'll try and find a link, but I doubt it because I can rarely find any first player components in the UK, mainly US. So if you want to buy it, I'll try and find a link, but if not, then don't worry, it's still a good case anyway. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget that I have got much more coming. I've got more Sapphire motherboards coming. I've got absolute tons of stuff here, and as always, this is Richard for WELSHYTECH. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and week ahead of you. Goodbye. Bye.